Let's set up our color coding first. So let's add in a function below our did move to view. We'll call this select color. And within select color, we will randomly select a color choice. So we'll say color choice is equal to int arc for random arc for and then underscore random arc for random underscore uniform. And it used to be as an autocomplete, but for some reason it isn't here. And I'm going to say 3. And what this is going to do is it's going to pick a number between 0 and 2. So it's going to either pick 0, 1, or 2. Why am I putting in 3? Because it rounds down. So let's take a look at color choice here. So we're going to say if color choice is double equal to 0, then we're going to set the self.background color is equal to red background color. Okay, we're going to say if color choice is double equal to 1, we're going to say self.background color is equal to green color or green background color. And then we're also going to say that if color choice is double equal to 2, then we're going to say that self.background color is equal to blue background color. Okay. We now need to call it, so we're going to say that this is the select color. And did move to view gets called on start, and there you go. You can see that it selected red there, and if we run it again, it should be a different color. Okay, you can see that it's blue, and actually this background blue does look pretty good. If you wanted to change this up a bit, you could change this to 0.2 and just see how this works. By adding in, this to 0.2, it would make things just a bit lighter. And again, the lower the numbers, the darker it will be. And yeah, green, that might be a bit too much. But nevertheless, we'll make this work, right? And red, I think the red's good, but maybe the green, we can make 0.15. Make 0.15 and maybe 0.15, and let's not fuss with it too much because we need to actually get this game going. So let's go ahead and let's spawn the player. So we'll add a function, we'll call this spawn player, and we will spawn the player. Okay, so we got spawn player, and let's go and let's spawn the player. Now what we're going to do is we're going to say player is equal to sk sprite node, and we're going to make this a UI color. Okay, and right now we're just going to make it the off-white color. Now don't worry, we are going to set the player and all the other items to a specific color. Okay, and the CG size is going to be player size. Right now we're just setting up the player. We will set up the color logic once all of these are set up here. Okay, and you can see here that we didn't actually set up the player size. So let's go ahead and let's do that now. So we'll go to player size is equal to CG size, and we'll say this is 60 by 60. Add another variable here, we'll call this square size, make that equal CG size. We'll make the square size 40 by 40, make them fairly small. Var circle avoid, or circle size, equal to CG size, and it'll be 40 by 40 as well. And we'll add in another variable here, we'll call this star equal CG size, and we will set that randomly. All right. So you can see here that we have a star is equal to CG size here. And the reason why it's giving you an error here because we already had star. So we'll call it star size. It'll be consistent here. So let's say this is player size. And there we go. Now what we can also do is go to player.size just in case you want to add in your own art and set it to player size, because you need to do that. Otherwise, you won't be able to set the size. Let's set the player.position, and it will make that equal to a CG point. And that CG point is going to be CG rect get mid x self.frame. And the Y here, let's say, is 130. Okay, that will put it somewhere near the bottom. And there we go. Now we need to add in a physics body. And in order to do that, we need to add in a struct. So we'll call this physics category, and we'll say static let player is equal to 0, static let square is equal to 1, static let circle is equal to 2, and static let, and we do not need the star. Yes, we do not need the star, so we only need 3 of these. So we got our physics category, and what this is going to do is that when SpriteKit collides 2 objects, it checks the number. In order to make physics work, let's go to our SK scene and add an SK physics contact delegate. All right, you can type that out there, or you can just simply add in SK physics contact. What we also need to do is add in physics world dot contact delegate is equal to self, and that way we have our contact delegate making it equal to self. Okay, so we now have our physics world and we now have our contact delegate, and let's go and let's add in our physics body is equal to SK physics body, and it should be physics body like that, and we're going to scroll down to rectangle of size, and we're going to go to player.size, just like that. So the size of the physics bodies are player.size here, and they just changed this in Swift. So I'm going to add in a bracket here and an exclamation point. We do need to unwrap that. So let's go ahead and let's go to player.physicsBody.affected by gravity is equal to false. We don't want it to be affected by gravity. Player.physicsBody.allows rotation is equal to false. We do not want the player to rotate. Then we need to add our player.physicsBody.category bitmask is equal to physics category.player. And there's one other item here that we need to do. We need to make sure that this is a uint32. What's a uint32? Well, it's a 32-bit integer, but physics category is a uint32, so I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So what this is saying is that the player, the circle, and the square are all pieces of data in the struct physics category, and they're all of type uint32. Do you really need to know what a uint32 does? Well, right now, all you need to know is that physics category, or this category bitmask, is a uint32, and you need to pair like pieces of data. So we're going to go to player.physicsBody.contactTestBitmask is equal to physics category dot, and we'll say that this is the square for now. All right, we're going to add in player.dynamic or .physicsBody, player.physicsBody.dynamic is equal to false. We're going to add in a player.name is equal to player name. This is super important because we're going to compare our player name. Then we're going to go to self.addChild and we're going to add in our player, just like that here, player exclamation point. All right, and so that should spawn everything to the screen here. Now, we're going to set the colors for all of our items once all of our items are set up here. All right, and we're going to set up some more items in the next tutorial.